In a city where the sun hid its face, where drizzles weaved through narrow lanes like silver threads, there was a hospital. It stood tall among tired buildings, its lighted windows winking through the mist that hung low in the cold dawn. A cocoon of glass and steel incubating life within walls of sterilized silence. In this world of fluorescent light and antiseptic air, Sarah worked with religious dedication. To her, each operating room was a sacred chamber, each cut of her scalpel an act of both destruction and creation. The scent of blood, a rich, metallic perfume, did not nauseate her. It made her nerves sing. Sarah was a surgeon, a healer guided by precision and intuition. Yet beneath her cool exterior lay a river of longing that she refused to acknowledge. For as often as she healed bodies, she found herself unable to mend her own heart. Across the operating table, she met Matthew's eyes, an anesthesiologist with hands as firm and steady as hers. They moved in sync, an intimate dance born out of countless hours spent side by side. He'd whisper comforting words into patients' ears as they drifted into oblivion, while she'd be their reality on the other side. Their professional relationship was peppered with shared laughter in scrub rooms and hushed conversations in hushed corridors. The tension between them was palpable, like a living thing pulsating under the harsh hospital lights, but duty kept them at arm's length. "I lost a patient today," she said one evening, a whisper barely escaping her chapped lips as they sat in the dimly lit canteen long after everyone else had left. Matthew reached across the table instinctively to hold her hand, his thumb tracing circles over her knuckles, a soothing motion that echoed in waves up her arm. "Sarah," he said softly, "you've saved hundreds, for this one you couldn't. You're stronger than you think." But she pulled away, her heart pounding. She was no stranger to the touch of another, the probing under gloves, the clinical handling of flesh and bone. But this was different. It stirred something within her, a yearning for a connection that was more than skin deep. Sarah was caught in a struggle between her heart and her oath, torn between the call of duty and the whisper of love. This emotional tug-of-war gnawed at her, pulling threads from her neatly woven life. It forced her to confront parts of herself she had long been ignoring. She began to question, was it selfish to seek solace in another when lives depended on her? Could she belong to someone when she already belonged to an operating room? These questions echoed in the hollow chambers of her heart as she scrubbed in for surgeries and navigated through corridors filled with faceless shadows. In time, Sarah realized that there was a space within her, a void that neither her scalpel nor sutures could stitch. It was an absence filled by Matthew's presence, his touch, his quiet understanding. And it grew apparent that duty did not have to negate love, that she could be both a healer and a lover. So, one cool evening as they sat under the sparse glow of the operating room lights, Sarah took Matthew's hand, letting their fingers intertwine, an act so simple yet charged with a promise of shared burdens and joys. The final barrier had crumbled, the carefully constructed dam breached by an intimate act of surrender. It was an admission that she needed him, not just as a fellow surgeon, but as a man who could navigate the intricacies of her heart with the same deftness he displayed in an operating room. In this sterile world where life met death daily, love had found its way, winding through hallways, slipping under doors until it reached two souls. Love had come not as a distraction but as a balm, soothing the harsh edges of duty, adding color to the stark whites of their world. Sarah was a surgeon, a healer, but she was also human, one who dared to love in the face of duty. She had embarked on her journey towards personal growth, embracing the delicate balance between her professional obligations and her emotional needs. Love had not come at the expense of duty. It had arrived hand in hand, reminding her that she could be both a savior and a woman capable of love.